Hey guys, just to let you know that at any point that you need to stop it in this video, you can. So you just press the pause button and then continue when you need to. But this is going to be the note guide for today. Today we're going to be talking about systems of equations. You have a system of equation when you have two or more linear equations. Now, so that means I have two or more lines. When we have a system of linear equation, we have three different types of solutions we can have. The first one is a one solution, which is where when you graph two linear lines, say I want to graph that one and that one, they only cross one time. So that is one solution. No solution is when you have two lines that never cross. So they're always going to be an equal distance apart. They're never going to touch. And then the other solution is infinite solutions. That means wherever I have one line, I'm going to have another line that is directly over the top of it. They're the exact same line. That means that every point possible is going to be a solution. Now, with these lines, no solution, the lines are going to be parallel. And I think I misspelled parallel. Yeah, there's only one R in parallel. And then with the infinite solution, like I said, they're the same line. So the first way that we're going to look at how to solve a system of equation is by graphing. We're going to solve each system of equation by graphing and then identifying the solution. So I'm going to use, since my first 2 points are set up into y equals mx plus b, I'm going to graph using this formula. -6 is going to be my y-intercept. So I'm going to go down to -6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like -6 is about right there. And then after that, I realize, okay, my slope is -5/3. So I'm going to go down -5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Uh-oh. I can't go down -5. I don't have enough room to go down -5. So that means I have to go the opposite way. So instead of going down, I'm going to go up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then left 3. So I'm going to put a point there. And then after that, I'm going to go up again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Left 3. 1, 2, 3. Put another point there. And I'm going to do it one more time for good kicks. 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like it might be about right there. Then I'm going to connect my points. So that's this line. To graph my other one, I'm going to start at +5. 1, which is about right there. And then my slope is +1/6. So at the point of my y-intercept, I'm going to go up 1, right 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, if I keep continuing that pattern, I'm not getting closer and closer to my line. So instead of going up, I have to go down and to the left. So I'm going to go down 1, left 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's where they cross. So I'm going to connect my two lines. So they cross at this point right here. I'm going to use a different color. That is your solution, which looks like it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, because remember this was 6, negative 6, 4. When you graph this on your paper, it's going to be easier to see because I think my smart board is off again. I'm going to try to fix that real quick. Okay, so negative 6, 4 was my answer. Now, with number 2, when I have y equals 5, that means I'm going to have a horizontal line. That means it's going to be just a straight line that goes all the way across at 5. So I got to count up to 5. 1, which is right here. I want to just draw a straight line all the way across. And then my other point is 2x plus 7. So I'm going to go put a point at 7, which is here. And then I'm going to go down 2, right 1. So about right there. And that's where they cross. I'm going to write my point at which they cross, which is right here. So my x value of that is going to be negative 1, and my y value of that is going to be 5. Okay, number 3, you can do one of two ways. You can find the x and y intercepts by plugging in zeros for the appropriate variables, or you can just solve for y. I'm going to solve for y. So to solve this one for y, first thing I have to do is subtract 6x. So then I'm going to have negative 5y is equal to negative 6x minus 45. After that, I'm going to divide by negative 5. So I'm left with y equals positive, because a negative divided by a negative is going to be a positive 6 over 5x. Negative divided by a negative is also going to be a positive, so it's going to be a plus 9. So this is the line I'm going to have to graph. So I'm going to go all the way up to 9, which is about right here, and put a point. Then I'm going to go up 6, but if I look, I can't go up 6 because I don't have enough room. So instead, I'm going to go down 6, and then left 5. And I want to do it one more time. 3, 4, 5, 6, 5. And then draw my graph. Okay, so if you're still writing this formula down, you need to go ahead and pause it because I'm fixing to erase it. That way I have enough room to do the second problem. So pause. Okay, next problem, we're given 2x plus 2y is equal to negative 4. I'm still going to solve for y. But with this problem, I say, hey, 2, 2, and negative 4 all have a number in common. So if I divide everything by 2, it's going to make it easier for me. So 2 divided by 2 is 1, so I'm going to be left with x. 2 divided by 2 is 1, so I'm going to be left with plus y. And negative 4 divided by 2 is going to give me negative 2. That way I don't have to simplify in the end. It just makes things easier in the beginning. So now all I have to do is subtract by x, and I'm left with y equals negative x minus 2. Now to graph this one, I'm going to change colors so you can tell the difference between the two lines. I'm going to start off at negative 2. So I'm going to put a point at negative 2. Now, if you realize, my slope is actually negative 1 over 1. So that means I'm going to go down 1, right 1. But that's not going to get me any closer to my line. So I have to do the opposite. I have to go up one, left one, up one, left one. Right there, until I meet. And so now my real solution is going to just be 1, and it looks like it's at the point -5, 3. Number 4. Oop, look, you can divide again. I'm telling you, I like to make my numbers easy to work with. So if I divide that one by 3, then I'm going to get x plus 2y equals -4. I always look to see, can I make my number smaller? It makes it so much easier. Subtract x, 2y equals -x minus 4. Divide by 2. Y equals -1/2 x minus 2. So, y-intercept, -2. I'm going to go down 1, right 1. Right 2, I'm sorry, right 2. Down 1, right 2. Down 1, right 2. Okay? And then I'm just going to draw my line. But if I look at the second equation, it's already been put into slope-intercept form. Okay, so if you realize my second equation is already in this form. So the first thing I'm going to do is, okay, -5. I have to put a point at -5. So -5 is right here. And my slope is again -1/2. So that means I'm going to go down 1, right 2. Down 1, right 2. Down 1, right 2. And then graph. But remember what we said, if I have 2 lines that have the exact same slope, they're going to be parallel. And if they're parallel, that means I have no solution. Okay, so on problem number 5, there again, I can also make my number smaller. So I'm just going to divide by 2. So I'm going to be left with y equals 4x plus 9. Once you divide everything by 2, you notice that it's already in my y equals mx plus b form. So to graph it, I'm going to put a point at 9, which is about up here, and then I'm going to go down 4 over 1. And I'm just going to keep going until I just run out of room. And I'm going to draw my line. So on my next problem, I can't divide by anything because I don't have a number in front of the x. So I have to actually solve for y. To solve for y, I'm going to subtract 24. So I'm going to be left with 4y is equal to x minus 24, and then divide by 4. So I get left with y equals 1 over 4x minus 6. Now, I'm going to put a point at -6, which looks to be about right there, and then I'm going to go up 1, right 4. But that doesn't give me any closer to my graph, so instead I have to go down 1 and left 4 and put a point. And that's where my two graphs cross. Right here at that point. And that point looks to be 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 5, 7. Negative 5, 7. Now, my numbers are really blurred. So you can probably see it better on your graph. So if my number isn't right, it's because I can't see very well. So it might be a different number, but it should be really close to this point. So let's look at number 6. If it's already in y equals mx plus b form, the only thing I have to do is divide by negative 1 to get rid of the negative. So I'm going to get y equals x plus 6. So just graph it again. I'm going to go up to 6. And then I'm going to go up 1, right 1, up 1, right 1, up 1, right 1. And then go the opposite direction. And draw a line. So that's the first equation. The second equation, if I look, I can divide everything by 3. So I'm going to get x plus 6 is equal to y. If you want to, you can rewrite it as y equals x plus 6. It doesn't really matter. They both mean the same thing. So I'm going to start at 6. I'm going to use a different color. I'm going to start at 6, and then I'm going to go up 1, right 1, up 1, right 1. If you notice, I'm going to be on the exact same line that I had. So remember, if it's the exact same line, we're going to have infinite solutions. Infinite solutions. The other way that we're going to talk about solving today is learn how to solve today is by solving by substitution. To solve by substitution, you solve one equation for x or y, and then substitute the resulting equation from step 1 into the other equation for that variable, and then solve for the remaining variable. After we do that, we're then going to substitute your answer back into step 3 into either original equation to find the other variable. So if we look at number 7, it's already solved for y. So y is equal to negative 7x minus 1, and y is equal to x minus 9. So to do this, I'm going to take the x minus 9 and plug it into y. So I'm going to have x minus 9 is equal to negative 7x minus 1. So then just solve for x. To solve for x, I'm going to add 7x to both sides. So I get 8x minus 9 is equal to negative 1. Add 9. 8x is equal to 8. Divide by 8, and I get x is equal to 1. Once you get x is equal to 1, you're going to take it and plug it into x. So I'm going to get y is equal to 1 minus 9. Therefore, y is equal to negative 8. So your final answer is going to look like this. It's going to be an ordered pair, 1, comma, negative 8. And that's how you solve by substitution. If you already look at number 8, I already have one equation set equals y. I'm going to plug that into y. And x plus 3 times negative 5x plus 30 is equal to 42. So I got to distribute my 3. So I get 7x equals 42. 8x plus 90 equals 42. Subtract 90. You get negative 8x is equal to negative 50 I'm sorry, not negative 50, negative 48. Then divide by negative 8. So that you get x is equal to a positive 6. Once you get that, you need to plug it into your other formula. So you're going to do y equals negative 5 times 6 plus 30. Negative 5 times 6 is going to give me negative 30 plus 30, so that y is equal to 0. So your final answer is going to be 6, 0. Number 9, they don't give you a problem set equal to y. So to me, if I look at my two equations, the easiest one to set equal to y after you do that, you're going to plug in negative 7x plus 22 into y. So I'm going to have 6x minus 5 times negative 7x plus 22 is equal to negative 28. Distribute 6x plus 35x minus should give me negative 110 is equal to negative 28. So once you do that, combine your like terms and you get 41x minus 110 is equal to negative 28. Add 110 and you get 41x is equal to 82. Divide by 41 and you get x is equal to 2. Plug it in, you get 7 times 2 plus y is equal to 22. 7 times 2 is 14 plus y is equal to 22. Subtract 14 and you get y is equal to 8. So your final answer is 2, 8. On number 10, the first thing I would do is solve the first one for x, because that looks like the easiest one. All you have to do is add 7y to both sides so that you get x is equal to 7y plus 53. And then just plug this in for x. So you're going to get negative 4 times 7y plus 53 minus 5y is equal to 19. Distribute the negative 4 and you get negative 28y minus 212 minus 5y is equal to 19. Combine your like terms. You'll get a negative 33y minus 212 is equal to 19. Add 212 to both sides and you get negative 33y is equal to 231. Divide by negative 33 and you get y is equal to negative 7. Plug in negative 7 back into ay. It doesn't matter which one you want to do, but I'm going to use the first one. So I'm going to have x minus 7 times negative 7 is equal to 53. Negative 7 times negative 7 gives me a positive 49 equals 53. Subtract 49 and you get x is equal to 4. So your final answer is going to be x comma negative 7 as an ordered pair. I'm sorry, not x. That should be 4 comma negative 7 as an ordered pair. Okay. Number 11. If you solve the first one for y, all you have to do is divide everything by 2. So you get y is equal to 3x plus 5. Plug it in. 3x minus 3x plus 5 is equal to 5. Distribute the negative. You get 3x minus 3x plus 5, not plus 5, minus 5 is equal to positive 5. If you notice, 3x minus 3x will give me 0 minus 5 is equal to 5. The 0 doesn't change, so you get negative 5 is equal to 5. If you notice, negative 5 cannot equal negative 5, so your answer is going to be no solution. Okay, so for this last problem, what you are going to do is solve I'm going to solve the bottom one for y. Because no matter which way I do this, I'm going to get fractions. So I'm going to solve this one for y. To solve it for y, I'm going to subtract 4x to both sides. So that I get negative 3y is equal to negative 4x minus 5. Divide by negative 3, and you get y is equal to a positive, because a negative divided by a negative is a positive, 4 divided by 3x plus 5 divided by 3. Once you do that, you're going to plug it back into the first equation. So I'm going to get 5x plus 7 times 4 over 3x plus 5 over 3 is equal to negative 17. Use your calculator. This is going to make it so much easier. So from here, you are going to distribute the 7 within the parentheses. So I'm going to get 5x plus. When you distribute the negative, you are going to get 28 over 3x, because 28 over 3 cannot simplify, plus 35 over 3 is equal to negative 17. After you do that, you're going to combine your like terms. You're going to combine 5x and 28 over 3. When you combine those, you are going to get 43 over 3x plus 35 over 3 is equal to negative 17. From here, if you notice, both numbers underneath the fraction are 3. If you want to get rid of the fraction first, I suggest you multiply everything by 3, because then the 3's will cancel out, so that you're left with 43x plus 35 is equal to negative 51. And then solve for x. So you're going to subtract 35, and you get 43x is equal to negative 86. Divide by 43, and you get x is equal to negative 2. When you plug it back in, you can use either equation. It doesn't matter. Let's use the bottom one. 4 times negative 2 minus 3y is equal to negative 5. 4 times negative 2 is 8, minus 3y is equal to negative 5. Subtract 8 from both sides, and you get negative 3y is equal to negative 8. I'm sorry, I made a multiplication mistake. I made a mistake. It's not 4 times 2, it's 4 times negative 2, so it's really going to be negative 8. minus 3y is equal to negative 5. So instead of subtracting 8, I have to add 8. So that I get negative 3y is equal to positive 3 divided by negative 3, and you get y is equal to negative 1. So your final solution is going to be x, which is negative 2, comma your y, which is negative 1. And that is going to be your final answer.